2019, 88,000 people died from alcohol-related deaths. Things like drunk driving, alcohol poisoning, and alcoholism make alcohol-related deaths the third most preventable death in the United States. Alcoholism, like diabetes, is a chronic illness. It takes months or even years to sober up, and it takes longer to keep it that way. Symptoms include a strong need or urge for drinking. When the addiction is not fed, the withdrawal symptoms are heavy. Alcoholism kills 50% of those who develop the illness because it can be treated but not cured. Treatments include therapy and sedatives. Most of those who suffer as an alcoholic develop the illness when they were a teenager. 33% of teenagers admitted to drinking alcohol in the past 30 days in a study conducted by www.livescience.com. Of that 33%, 11% will become alcoholics. So how do we prevent this? The first step is to get educated. Unless the parents of students talk to them about the dangers of alcohol, then all these students receive is a unit in health and maybe a talk from a counselor or school officer. We decided to turn to the students of Austin High School to see what they know about teen drinking. Our first question had to do with alcohol poisoning.
How many teens a year do you think die from alcohol poisoning?
1,000?
2,000?
Like 5,000?
100.
210?
Around like 42.
700.
Like 10.
70.
21,000.
150.
Around 1,000.
I think 100 teens die.
Maybe like 60.
Roughly 101.
According to the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, in 2019, 110 teenagers died from alcoholism. Our next question had to do with the age teens start drinking.
What is the youngest age on average you think teens start drinking?
15.
12.
Probably like 15.
14.
15.
Like 8 or 9.
13.
I'd probably say 14.
14.
7.
15.
12.
15.
Maybe at 16.
Probably 12.
According to the CDC, the youngest age on average kids start drinking is at age 12. Age 12 is a 6th grader. Our final question asked about gateway drugs. A gateway drug is an experimental drug that leads to curiosity and experimenting of other, more addictive drugs.
Do you think alcohol is a gateway drug?
No.
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
Yes.
Yes.
No, because it's not a drug.
No.
No. Nah.
No.
Yes!
Yes, I do.
No, I don't think it is.
No.
In fact, alcohol is a gateway drug. According to the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services and Administration, alcohol is a drug and it is a gateway drug. In recent tests, it was found that kids who drink alcohol are more likely to try experimenting with marijuana, another gateway drug. The point of our interview was to see how much knowledge a teenager has on how alcohol affects teens. Our interview results showed us that many kids do not know the real dangers of alcohol. It's not uncommon for teenagers to have an invincible mindset where they think nothing can happen to them. If kids were more educated on the serious dangers of alcohol, kids would be less apt to drinking, according to the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. Growing up, Mom and Dad always told my siblings and I to look both ways before we crossed the street. Slow down and look. Look left, look right, and left again. Check before you cross. I never thought much about it. I didn't think anything bad would ever happen to me. It was not until my aunt hit a little boy who ran out into the street in front of her car that made me realize how serious this was. Everyone was okay, but I knew from that day forward I had to be more careful. Maybe if everyone listened a little closer to parents who preached a little harder, no one would have a sad story to tell. It is critical that parents and other trusted adults initiate conversations about underage drinking well in advance of the first time they are faced with a decision regarding alcohol, says Xavier Becerra, Attorney General of California. The kids are more likely to listen to those they trust. One conversation could change a life. The next part of the plan is to make hotlines and crisis centers more available to teens. The fact is that even with education, kids still will experiment. When they get into a bad situation, help them out. Education will save many teens, but not all. Sometimes only an expert can help. Crisis centers and hotlines like the Teen Addiction Hotline, the Teens Health and Wellness Hotline, and the Above the Influence movement are all here to help teens who are struggling. Lawmakers and officials change laws and make prevention acts, but teens still find alcohol. It's time for a different approach. If you or someone you know is battling addiction, reach out to someone you trust, get help, and get educated.